What's going on, my friends? Welcome to the end of the week, midweek podcast for the Northfield radio program. So I didn't get to this in the main show this week with my friend Aaron, but I actually just saw this. I've called this for a while that I believe that we are heading towards a global economic system. And like I said, earlier this spring/summer, they did an article in Time Magazine about the Great Reset and how COVID-19 was going to help propel that Great Reset. And here's what I'm seeing. This is an article from CNBC. The title of it says, "Another consequence to COVID is a world without cash." And then the idea here is not wanting to touch anything is having a dramatic impact on consumer habits. Amid the coronavirus crisis, Americans are abandoning cash almost entirely in favor of a quote-unquote tap-and-go transaction and have fully embraced contactless and or digital payment methods after a year of reluctance. So we've been reconditioned. I said back in March, we're in the process of being reconditioned, and we are being reconditioned. It's almost complete. People are now to the point where they don't want to touch anything. They don't want to handle cash. Cash is no longer a thing that's going to be worth anything. Paper money is going to be obsolete soon. It'll be a completely digital system, which will open the door for a completely online digital footprint and transaction history, transaction abilities. My brother, I just was on the phone with my brother a little bit ago, and he's like, hold on just a second, I got to scan my face to get into work. And you've got to scan your face on this computer thing. Man, they're conditioning. So I don't know how people can't see this. They are straight up conditioning us for the mark of the beast, to be able to scan to get into places, to do certain things. That happened. I saw a video where they're scanning people to get into a shopping mall. You got to scan your temperature. Make sure you don't have a temperature. So you got all these things coming down the pike, and I'm telling you, I mean, in our city alone, they've got billboards up at "Protect the herd, protect the herd, protect the herd. Wear your mask, wear your mask." It is not helping. Like, if this is as deadly as they say it is, why a little plastic or paper mask is not going to stop it? I mean, they're not even 99.9% of the people aren't even wearing the mask correctly. They have their noses uncovered. Their eyes are exposed. So if Corona wants to, it can get in through your eyes. It can get in through your nose. If you've got your nose exposed, people aren't taking. If you really truly are that concerned, you need a full hazmat suit covering all orifices. And like I said, there was an article that came out 2 weeks ago in Oklahoma City that said soon, they're saying now that the coronavirus is going to be no worse than the childhood cold. It's like a cold. It's like a regular virus. Not a big deal. And yet we're moving in a direction that is going to completely put us in a standstill. Won't be able to do anything. Cashless society. They're saying soon you're going to have a passport to be able to move around. You won't be able to fly. Biden's pushing, or his team is pushing for COVID-19 passports to be able to fly. If you don't have the passport and proof that you have got the vaccine, then you can't fly. You can't travel. So that's restricting people from being able to do certain things. We've seen the dystopian films where they put people in boxes of camps, and when I say camps, I mean like districts. And you can't go out of that district. And we've got all these movies that have foretold this kind of stuff, and just a fictional science fiction type environment. But we're opening the door for this kind of stuff. The U.S. Mint has pleaded with the public to use coins again, but the opportunities to do so are fewer and fewer in between. Since the start of the pandemic, more retailers have moved to an e-commerce, including allowing shoppers to pay online and pick up at curbside, avoiding even touching a card. So you can just pay on the internet and be done with it. And so we've got all these weird things that are coming down the pike. And I'm telling you, this is going to affect us in ways that we are being restructured. I had Aaron on earlier on the podcast, on the radio show podcast, and he's, communism and socialism are alive. They are here presently in this place. And we're so consumed with, are you wearing your mask? Are you doing your part? Are you protecting the herd? That we're not protecting the herd. We're actually devastating people that are financially. We're devastating folks. We're not doing what we should be doing economically. We're closing ourselves off in such a fashion that it's going to be almost impossible if you don't have a digital footprint. If you to be able to do transactions, which once again I keep landing back on my eschatology, where my view of the end. I believe we're in end times. I believe Christ is going to return, and we need to be paying attention to what's going on and listen to the facts. Now, I'm not talking. Let's look at conspiracies. Those I'm not talking. I'm just look at the things that are being presented by credible news sources that are saying, okay, this is what's going on. We got a cashless society that's happening. We've got all these things that are happening, and this thing with GameStop yesterday. I still think that there's something to this that is bigger than the actual meltdown that has ensued. I don't know. Says the stocks are in a tumble and they're in trouble. We've got all kinds of interesting things that are coming down the pike that are going to cause problems. Anybody that disagrees with the mainstream media or the mainstream narrative is considered an extremist or just some sort of whacked out crazy person. And we're just... it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Pay attention. I think that we're in for a rough next 12 months. But if we're not, I'll come back on here and tell you guys, listen, I was wrong. But as for now, I want you guys to pay attention to your surroundings. Know what's going on. Let's do what's right.